Alright guys, so before we get started, I wanted to share some events that are happening during the month of January and for the rest of the year. The first one is the Global Game Jam. This is taking place on the last weekend of January all over the world. So if you want to make some games over 48 hours, find a local jam site near your area and get involved. It is a really awesome experience if you haven't done it. If you have done it, it definitely is really nice to do it again. This is our second time and we're extremely excited about it. We're looking forward to it. So Global Game Jam, if you miss it, it comes back every year. Keep an eye on it. globalgamejam.org. So don't miss out. The other one is going on for the rest of the year and it's one game a month. So the idea is kind of like to get you past that last mile. You know where that is, right? When you build your game, you're about to finish, but you really can't get through it. You really can't finish it. You know, the excitement is not there, or you feel like it doesn't. You lost your drive. Definitely, the idea with this is gonna keep you pushing and developing a game once a month. There's about 2,000 developers in it. Definitely check it out. They'll give you some feedback. You can give some feedback. You can see what other creative things all the game developers around the world are doing. So definitely something to get involved with throughout the year. So check it out. On this issue, we're going to be working on Goobler now that we're done with those two events. Again, pretty awesome events going on, so it's going to be an epic year. We're going to be working on Goobler, and the name Goobler was actually picked by one of our Kickstarter backers, who backed the magazine Game Loop, by the name of Andrew Hoyt. And Andrew is a fairly young game designer, but he's already made a few games, one of them being Malwares, which is quite fun. You should definitely check it out. He came out with the name Goobler for our little characters, so that is what his name is going to be for the remaining of the game. So you better get familiar with it. So today we're going to be creating Goobler. As you can see, it is 2 frames. He's almost like a little ball with some feet and then some fangs and some little eyes with her. And then the other frame is just the mouth. So we're going to be building this guy in layers, and we are going to do it in a way so that we don't have to redo him for both layers. So with that said, let's get ready to get started. Right, so let's go ahead and we're going to create a new file, Control N, and we're going to make sure that the file is 32 pixels by 32 pixels. Right, we're not going to worry about the background, so let's do Control Shift N to create a new layer, make sure that it's transparent, and we can toggle this off. Now, since we're going to be working with pixels, it also helps to have your grid set up. So go under Image, Configure Grid, and we're going to make sure that it are 1 by 1. And the next thing we're going to do is View Show Grid. So now we can see the grid. It helps if you put something on the background, like so, but make sure they're always working on the layer. Now, since Goobler is kind of like a little ball, we are going to do a elliptical select, and we're going to select a little ball, make sure that it stretches on the edges. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to fill it with black. As a matter of fact, that background is annoying me with that green, so instead I'm going to make it white. And there we go. There we go, better. So next thing, you want to take that circle select, which I kind of took off, but no worries, we'll recreate it. And what you want to do is you want to take it off 1 pixel from each side, so you want to shrink it down. And on top of it, let's create a new layer. We are going to paint it green, and the green we're going to use is going to be 108-2550. Again, you can find this in the magazine, in the actual walkthrough. So for now, let's paint it. Now we get a green little guy. Let's go ahead and add the feet. So don't forget to deselect. So of course they need to be black, but Here we go. There we go. Let's take the moment too to fill it in back again with green so that we get the desired effect. There we go. By the way, Control Z to undo. Here we go. We got our initial shape of Goobler. Next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna add a second layer, and we're gonna add a little bit of details on the side. I don't know why he became that way. Let me just double check. My color was off. Let's recorrect that one. Let's redo this guys over here. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Perfect. So the next thing, like I was mentioning, we're gonna get a darker shade, 106, 195, 40, and we want to do a little bit of a shade back here. So there we go. So kind of make it seem like it's a little bit rounded. We also want to shade some of the feet on the top. Here we go. Now we're going to go ahead and add the mouth. So Shift N, new layer. The mouth is about the center, so make sure that you divide your circle more or less in the center, 16 by 16. And we're going to get a black. And right about here. Again, he's gonna have a big mouth, so right. So for now, we're gonna leave the mouth there as it is, and we're gonna go ahead and make the eyes, and we'll get back to the mouth in a second. So go ahead and do the outline, do the basic eyes, which are going to be more or less about here. It's really like came out horrible. Let's go ahead. Here we got one eye. Here we got the other one. That came out a little bit off, so there we go. We'll fix the rest. And now for the pupils. There we go. There we go. Let's go ahead and finish these guys off so that we can use the bucket tool to fill them. And for the eyes, we're going to use orange, which is somewhere. I don't have it here, I suppose. Let's see. No, I don't. So the orange is going to be. Let me go ahead and drag it out from the magazine itself. Here we go. That's the orange that we need. And it is 255, 144, 0. And what we're going to do is we're going to fill up the eyes, and then we're going to fill up the rest with white. So here we go. Here we go. We got our basic look. Now let's go ahead and make the fangs. So essentially they're just triangles for the most part. So let's go ahead and grab the Pencil tool, once again, make sure that your pencil is set at 1 on the size. So I'll make sure that the paint is black so you don't get stuck doing something white. Here we go. 1, 2, the first fang. Very easy. And the second one is a little bit longer, so here we go. Now we also use gray to do a little bit of a shading inside, which is 181, 182, 182. So here we go. Here we go. And then let's just fill the rest with the white. Here we go, and now the fangs are done. Now, last thing that remains is the actual mouth. So one thing that we're going to do for the mouth, instead of redoing the entire character, we're just going to create another layer. And what we're going to do is we're going to just draw the open mouth. And make sure once again that you have black. And it's just going to be a diagonal line. So we're going to click here, hold down Shift. And that looks about... there you go, big mouth. So let's go right there so that we don't overflow once we use the paint tool. And then for the mouth we're going to use blue, 196, 207, 255, and just use the paint bucket. Oh, I forgot the top. So again, make sure that you always seal it off before use the bucket tool. Oh, great. Oh, there he is. I missed one. There we go. And now once you have it so it looks nice, let's bring it down to below the fangs, and here we have him. So here is our little guy. So what you're going to do now that you have him here is, first of all, you're going to export one, and then you're going to export the other, so we can get both frames. So you will go ahead and export, and then we'll export it as Goobler 1. So we're going to export them as Goobler 1. Then we're going to add the open mouth, and we're going to export it as Goobler 2. So Goobler 2. Then what you want to do is you want to create a new file altogether. Instead of 32, we're going to make it 64. And we're going to bring in both Gooblers. So open up a new layer just to be safe, and we're going to file, open as layer, Control Alt O, and you want to select both Gooblers. And there they are. And the final step is we want to put them so that they occupy the entire and here we have them. So Goobler 1 and Goobler 2. And you want to go ahead and take, of course, the background away from it, but you want to go ahead and export it once again, and we're going to export it as Goobler, which we're going to then import into the project. So stay tuned, save it, export it, and then we'll continue